I will take this opportunity to share my thoughts and my experience, what I gained in NSS. Here, the topic I have chosen to speak is on extension as third dimension of education, an introduction to NSS. So here, I would like to speak how NSS could be act as a extension activity in the education system. So on that, I would like to speak my experiences. So here, as you know, at undergraduate level, probably you are all representing undergraduate colleges, different undergraduate colleges, where some of you may be already having take up this responsibility as NSS officers, or otherwise in the coming days you may be asked to take up this NSS responsibility as a program officers. So in that connection, I would like to encourage you all not to hesitate to take up the responsibility of NSS officers. You all take the responsibility if it is demands. If it comes to you to become NSS officers, you take up the responsibility as NSS officers in your respective institutes, educational institutions. So coming to this NSS, as I told you, in education, we have this is the framework I have made, how my presentation is organized. So initially, I would like to make a presentation on the introduction, where the concept of extension is going to be introduced, and how NSS and extension activities are very important in holistic development of a teacher. That is going to be discussed. And in the second part of my presentation, I would like to explain the background of NSS. So the history and philosophy of NSS, when it has got originated, and what backdrop it has been started, who are all the personalities involved in beginning of this scheme to the education system. So all this are going to be discussed in the second part. And in the third part, the aims and objectives of NSS are going to be discussed. And as a fourth part, that is where we are going to connect how NSS can act as extension activity and its need and importance of NSS to the teachers as well as students. So this is what I have planned in my presentation. At the end, we are going to conclude with the major points of this extension activities and this NSS. So coming to this extension activities. So as I told you, this NSS can act as a third dimension of education. So why we call this NSS as third dimension of education? Because this education is not just teaching. It is not just classroom teaching. So it has many components. So as you know, it involves classroom teaching, and in addition to classroom teaching, it also involves the research. Probably you may be knowing. So for all undergraduate teachers, if you want to become, professors to attain that the level, so you need to contribute in the field of research. So that way, and for universities, even at the entry level, research is made compulsory. So this way, what we can understand, education is not just something about teaching in the classroom. So it also involves doing research, and in addition to that, whatever the subject we teach in the classroom and the research we made in the laboratories or in other fields, then this should be made available to the common people. That is what we call it as extension activity. Just a moment. So that is what the intention of extension activity. So coming to this extension activity, so it is the bridge between the ivory tower of academia and the real world. So here the purpose of this extension, whatever we teach and gain theoretical knowledge in the classroom, that should be made in action and it should reach to the knowledge should reach to the community, and by this theoretical knowledge and this extension activity, the community should get benefited. So this is the purpose of extension activity. So it's about taking knowledge and insights gained through teaching and research and actively applying them to address societal changes. So at the end, what we can expect through this extension activity is there should be some societal changes, positive changes, and it should be benefit to the society. So if it happens, then the purpose of education is going to be fulfilled. Otherwise, it is only theoretical knowledge is going to be inculcated within the walls of the classroom. So it is not going to be reached to the common people. So as we know, this teaching or education involves these three components. That's what we call it as Trinity components of education, where you can observe the teaching, which focuses on imparting knowledge and skills within the formal educational setting, and the research, which involves generating new knowledge and understanding through the systematic inquiry. So through this research, these universities or laboratories or research centers or the colleges are going to create the new knowledge through this research, and by understanding this new knowledge, it has to be disseminated to the common people or the community in the form of extension activities. Then coming to this extension activities, it is, as I said, it is a bridges the gap between theory and practice. Whatever the theoretical knowledge we have and whatever the theoretical formulations or theoretical theories we are developed in the through the research, so it should be made practical utility among the community. So where we can find the three process. One is the dissemination of knowledge to the common people through sharing research findings with the public, then policy makers and practitioners. So this is what the dissemination of the knowledge through research by this research, extension activities. And the secondly, in the extension activities, what we can find is the providing services through offering expertise and support to communities, or otherwise it may be providing services to the business activities in the community or to the organization. So then thirdly, it is extension activity through engaging in community outreach. So collaborating with the local partners to address social, economic, and environmental issues. So here, engaging the community is very, very important in order to address the social issues, economic issues, and environmental issues. So whatever the research is going to happen and the findings are going to made through our research. So that knowledge should disseminate through these extension activities to the common people or to the business organization or to the communities or to the other agencies which are the part of this community. So this is how we can find the trinity of the education. So with this slide, you can understand the components of education, where you can observe the extension activity, teaching activity, research activity. So where teaching focuses exclusively on imparting knowledge and skills within the formal education settings, and the research which focuses and involves generating new knowledge and understanding through systematic inquiry, and the extension where our focus is on where the NSS is going to play a very, very vital role as a key instrument of extension activity at higher education, which bridges the gap between theory and practice by disseminating knowledge, then providing services, and engaging in community outreach. So the next thing is the concept of extension as a third dimension of education. So overall, the extension is about making a real world impact. So at the end, through this extension activity, what we expect or what one can expect is some sort of making or bringing real world impact. It's about using education to solve problems, improve lives, and contribute to a better society. So the ultimate goal of our education through this extension activity is through this education, we are in a position to solve some of the problems we commonly or in a day-to-day we are facing. And similarly, the other goal of this extension is to improve the lives of the people. So whatever the research, whatever the education, whatever the knowledge we gain through different means, so at the end, the very purpose of all this, the process is to improve the lives of the people. So all sections of the people. And the other purpose is also to contribute a better society. At the end, through this education, through this knowledge, through this extension activities, and through this problem solving and improving the life quality, we have to contribute for making the better society. So this is the ultimate goal of extension activity, and including the education. So as we are getting or we are indebted to the society, because we have received many things from the society, and we are living getting many resources from the society. So we have done our education using our the society, our community. Many people have contributed in different forms, directly, indirectly, for our upliftment. So that way, we are answerable to the society, and we have to return back to the society in different forms, or we have to pay back to the society in different forms. So as an educationist, and we are part of education system, it is our responsibility to give it back to the society through this extension activity. So here, this extension activity through NSS is only a platform for the extension activity. So you can make use of many platforms for this extension activity. So here, since I have worked in NSS, I have given, I'm speaking on NSS only. So if you get any chance to work as other, in other platforms, extension platforms, like it may be, Red Cross Society, or it may be Scouts and Guides, or it may be NCC, or it may be any other clubs in the colleges. So it is all, part of this extension activity. But officially, this NSS has a greater potential to make use this education as extension platform. Because why this NSS is a very important platform for education extension activity is you will all be designated as officers. You will be designated officers once if you become NSS officers. If you become other officer, other responsibilities like Scouts and Guides, or Eco Club, or Environment Club, or some other platforms, so this privilege will not be there. That is, officer privilege will not be there, and you will not be designated officer, and you will not have a separate office for you. So there is a difference. And this scheme, NSS, is sponsored by Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. So it has some rules and regulations, and it will sanction the units based on certain conditions, and each officers has to undergo for training, and once they get training, then they will be considered as the designated officers, and they have some privileges. So all these special advantages are there. And because of all these advantages, you have the ability, and you have the special advantage for doing extension activities because of you are an officer, and you have an office, and you have a set of administrative system. So with that, in that context, you are able to work as extension officers in a greater way. So there are many examples we can give for these extension activities. Just if you take some of the examples, you can work as, you can take up some of the community development projects. So community development projects which are based on the local needs of the community. So once when you are living with the community, and if you visit some places, you can understand, when you interact with the people, you will come to know the local issues and local problems and local challenges, and in consultation with the community. So you can decide what type of projects you can take up with the help of your students, or otherwise NSS volunteers, to overcome the local issues, or the local challenges, or the local problems. So some examples we can observe here, the challenges like the poverty. So I can understand there are certain limitations. As an individual, you cannot tackle or give permanent solutions to the problem of the poverty, all this. But at the local level, to a small group of people, or to at individual levels. So the NSS officers, or otherwise the teachers, with the support of the students and the community, they can take up a small micro projects in order to tackle the problem of poverty. So similarly, you can work it on the hunger, shelterless, shelterlessness, and even on the issues of health. You can work taking up the health checkups, or creating awareness. So it all depends on the background of the teacher, as well as the background of the students. So if they are science students, if they are biology students, So they can make use of their subject knowledge to tackle the local issues. It may be on health, or it may be on education, or it may be on poverty. So it all depends on the expertise of the teacher as well as the expertise of the students. So whatever the theoretical knowledge they have, whatever the research knowledge they possess, by using all this theoretical knowledge and research knowledge, so they can make use of this knowledge in order to take up the community development projects, in order to tackle or gives smaller solutions for this poverty and health problems and certain education challenges with the help of the students, and with the help of your subject background. And similarly, you can provide technical assistance. One is community development projects, where you can observe your direct involvement and your application of your subject for overcoming or giving solutions to the community problems. Here also you can provide solutions to the community in the form of providing expertise and support to businesses and other organizations by providing the technical assistance. So suppose if you are very good enough in computer techniques, or use of information technology, or some other technology, or auditing, or other accounts, or in economics, or soil test. So if you are expertise technically, you are very sound. So this kind of technical knowledge can be used, or you can provide as expert to the many organizations which are present in the community, in the form of business organizations, business community, or NGOs. So for all this, you can provide technical assistance. So by that, you can improve, the community life quality, and many challenges can be overcome. So similarly, through this extension activities, you can make outreach programs. So one is conducting workshops. So probably our workshops are mostly confined to our classrooms. But in real sense, whatever the workshops we do, so it should reach to the community, and this knowledge should disseminate to the common man in the form of conducting seminars, workshops, and public lectures to the community, and this knowledge should reach the common man. So then only this knowledge is going to be disseminated, and at the end it is going to be utilized, and many challenges can be overcome, and many solutions are going to be reached to the common man through these outreach programs. So through this outreach program, one can expect the sharing of knowledge, and it will create the awareness among the people. So through that, their day-to-day activities and their performance, so their awareness is going to be increased, and that is going to make a greater impact on this community. Then one more extension activity is the conducting applied research that directly addresses the practical problems and challenges. So through this applied research, you can take up many projects in the field, and through this applied research, you can address many practical problems and challenges. So by integrating all this extension activity as a core function, educational institutions can carefully fulfill their social responsibility, and make a meaningful contribution to the society. So as I said, we are taking a lot of facilities, resources, and salary out of the society, and it is our responsibility to give it back. So if we engage in this extension activities, so it is our duty, and it is going to make meaningful contribution to the society through these activities. So so here you can observe the extension activities, how it is going to contribute the societal impact. So one, you can observe the community development projects, and you can observe the applied research, then outreach programs, then technical assistance. So all this are together are going to make the societal impact. So by addressing local issues, and by providing expertise in enhancing the organization capabilities, and similarly through this research, it is going to answer to many practical problems which are posing many challenges in the societies. And educational institutions can act as centers of outreach programs, and it can make its efforts to raise public awareness through this NSS. So this is how we can find it can perform or contribute in making its impact on society. And coming to the significance of extension activities in the holistic development. So as I told you, today universities and colleges, our education system is focusing more on providing information, and at the end, these universities are acting as certificate issuing centers or marks card providing centers. But the real spirit of education and the real purpose of education is not met by the most of the education institution, including the universities. So it is mainly because it is all become mechanical, and involvement is very less, commitment is very less, and the understanding of the real purpose of education, somewhere the whole system is failed in understanding the core principles of this education. So here the education should be holistic, and where this teaching, research, and extension should be work together. And once it happens, then only we can expect the holistic development of the society, and the holistic development we can expect. So the extension is profound for both students and teachers. So when we look into the how this extension activity through the NSS platform, it is going to make a holistic development of students as well as teachers. We can understand from the perspective of students as well as from the perspective of teacher. So initially, if we look from the perspective of how this extension activities are going to make its impact on the holistic development of students. So the first thing is it is going to make the real world applications. So extension provides a bridge between theoretical knowledge and practical applications. Students learn to apply their classroom learning to address real world challenges, fostering critical thinking and problem solving. So if they involve in extension activities, with the help of this classroom teaching as well as the research background. So such students are able to provide, they can act as a bridge between theoretical knowledge and practical applications, and they will learn to apply their classroom learning to address real world challenges. Yes, suppose if you take the example of, in classroom, normally we will give, some preset situation, and we will ask them to, make some studies, or to make some investigations, depending on the situations of that, laboratory, or to that, classroom. So most of the studies are related to ready-made situations or the pre-designed situations. They are going to make, prepare the solutions, or the answers they are going to prepare in such a way. But in real world, the problems are not posed with some clue, or without any clue. The problems are going to, abruptly they are going to come and arise. And at that time, or at that situation, the people who are responsible, so they have to respond wisely, and they have to take decision instantly. So the theoretical decisions what we have made in the classroom or laboratories or in research, so that kind of decision makings are not practical in real world situations. Suppose if somebody becomes, inspector, or superintendent of police, or something else, so he has to control the mob. So at that time, when you are acting with the people, when we are, dealing with the people, so you cannot take, the help of the textbook, and you cannot refer and read and come back to the ground. So that cannot, that such in that way you cannot act. So you have to act on instant, and readily you have to address to the problems which has, raised in the particular situations. So for that, this kind of practical knowledge is very, very important, and decision making is very important, and you should understand and you should know the real world challenges, and it's, reciprocal, challenges also we should be keep in mind. So for that, this kind of, the field exposure, field activity, practical, mixing with the people, so all these are very, very important. So for that, you need to expose for real world situations. So for that, this NSS as extension activity is going to provide a good platform where students are going to be, exposed to this real world challenges, because they will go to the field, they will mix with the people, they live with the people. During special camps, they will, remain for, 7 to 10 days with the people. So they will, cook the food, they will procure the food, and they will take up the project, they will speak with the project, and they will evaluate the project, then they will implement the project. So while doing all this, they will face the difficulty, many challenges and difficulties. So in order to overcome, so they will use their practical, their theoretical knowledge, and they will, when they are dealing with the people, they will come to understand the first-hand information, and they will understand the real-world situation. So through this practical knowledge, so they are able to understand this, the real-world challenges, and it will make them to think, critically, and as well also they will come up with the, problem solving, skills. So this way, it will provide the life skills for the NSS students in particular, and in general for the entire student community. It is going to provide all this, contemporary skills like critical thinking and problem solving. Skills are going to be inculcated among the students through this, extension activities using the NSS as a platform. And another area is engaging in community service and outreach activities cultivates a sense of social responsibility and empathy. So here, in our classroom teaching, we are mostly confined to our syllabus, our internal assessment, and evaluation, and they are interested in getting greater or higher CGPA, something like that. But through this extension activities, the teachers are able to engage students in community service and outreach activities, and this kind of engagement of students will cultivate a sense of social responsibility and a sense of empathy towards the society and the downtrodden, towards the poverty-laden people, or towards the environmental challenges. So all this, they will understand their responsibility, and they will also understand the social responsibility, the community responsibility. So all this they will understand, and students develop a deeper understanding of societal issues and their role in creating positive change. So they will act as the agents of positive change in the society, and they will contribute as the agents of change in the society. And this is they will act as catalyst in social transformation or social change and social impact. So that is how the students are going to be transform as a catalyst of change, societal change. Then another benefit or holistic development of student is the personal growth of students through this involving of the NSS volunteers or students in extension activities. They will get experience in fostering personal growth by enhancing communication development. Then they will understand the teamwork, the spirit of teamwork. Then they will develop the leadership qualities, and they will develop interpersonal communication skills. So all this. So otherwise, you need to go for this personality development classes by paying huge fees. Here, without knowing, by simply mixing with the community and engaging with the community, knowingly or unknowingly, a student is going to learn all these skills, like the communication skills, and then building the team, the leadership skills, then interpersonal communication skills. All this, the modern skills are the skills which are very essential for to live very well in the society as a a civilian or a common man, are going to be gained by a student, and which prepares him to become a good citizen of this country through this personal development. So that is the ultimate aim of NSS. That is personality development or individual development. So that is the ultimate aim of NSS. That is building the nation through building individuals. So that is the ultimate goal of NSS. So for that, this extension activities are going to help in a greater way in personality development, personal growth of the students. And similarly, after getting the real world understanding and understanding the real world applications, then social knowledge or socialization, then personal growth. So all this are going to add up for his career development. The student with all these skills that is, problem solving skills, critical thinking skills, or this communication skills, then societal skills, organization skills, leadership. So all this teamwork, so all will make him to enhance his confidence, and this added confidence will make him to involve and search for his or to build his career after his education. So that way it will benefit for a student to build his career through his practical experience gained through these extension activities. He will enhance his employability, and it will provide valuable skills for future careers. So that way, it is going to help a student in the holistic development of his personality. So though it is helpful for his personal development, his personality development, and his career growth, at the end, it is going to help for the whole society, and it is for individual personality development, and at the end, it is going to contribute for the nation building. So here you can observe the benefits of extension activities for students. So you can observe one is the social impact. Then you can observe the personal growth, then real world application, career development. So the holistic development of a student is going to happen through this extension activity using the NSS as a platform. And as I said, this extension activity is not mere helping for the holistic development of student. So this NSS activity is the activity of both involving students, then teacher or teachers, then the management of the institute. So
hello, sir.
Am
I audible, sir?
Excuse
me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir, the presentation is not visible to us, sir.
It is not visible.
Okay, we are only getting the first page of the presentation, sir. I think I've seen you moving the mouse, but here only the first page is visible.
Just a minute.
Yeah, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sir, first you need to click on that enable editing option, sir.
Right.
On the top. Here, sir. In the yellow line, it is showing. Enable editing. I think from now the slideshow should be on the top. It's sixth one. Sixth menu, sir. Next to the cursor. You have kept the cursor over there, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Slideshow.
Yes, sir. Slideshow.
They are not visible.
Oh, sir.
Slides are not visible.
Just. Slides.
Yes, sir, it is
Sir,
working
it's
now.
working now, sir. And sorry for the interruption, sir.
No. Thank you for informing me.
Yeah.
So now it is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you for informing me. Otherwise, it would be
thank you, sir.
Not visible. So as I was explaining how it is holistically helpful for students. On similar line, it is also helpful for the teachers. If somebody take up the responsibility as NSS officer, So it is going to develop the personality of the teacher, or the one who is going to take up the NSS officer responsibility. So the whole personality of the teacher is going to holistically develop. So here, how it is going to happen, that I will explain with the help of these few points. So one is enhanced teaching. So extension activities provide valuable insights into real world problems, which can be integrated into classroom teaching, making it more relevant and engaging for students. So, a teacher who is having, exposure to the NSS, so who can, contribute much better with this practical knowledge and field knowledge, and he can integrate this classroom teaching with his practical knowledge. Then secondly, professional development is going to happen by engaging in extension work, which allows teacher to develop their leadership, then organizational and community engagement skills. It provides opportunities for professional growth and networking. So normally what happens, the professional development of the teacher, particularly who is having the responsibility of NSS, is going to make very good compared to the others. Why I am telling, because greater responsibility will always be given to the the NSS officers, whatever the kind of responsibility that is. It may be institutional functions or non-institutional functions, or it may be student-related activities or some other activities. So most of the responsibilities are given to the NSS officers in the college. It is mainly because so they will be recognized for their efficiency, their organization skills. So if anything is assigned to them, so they are going to accomplish, fulfill in a better way than the other teachers. So that confidence will be made on each NSS officers. So this allows teachers to develop leadership qualities, organizational qualities, and the community engagement skills are better among the NSS officers. So it provides opportunities for professional growth and networking. So then the teachers who are involved in NSS activities are more connected with the societies. So extension activities help teachers stay connected to the community and understand the needs and challenges faced by the local people. This knowledge can inform their teaching and research endeavors. Then personal fulfillment. Contributing to the community through extension work provides teachers with a sense of personal satisfaction and fulfillment. So, so with this, teachers are also going to be get benefited. So their teaching capabilities, then the relevance of their teaching, then the ability of engaging students in the classroom. So all are going to be enhanced through this, the exposure to the NSS activities in the form of extension. And similarly, professionally, each teacher is going to be, developed through this development of skills. The skills are not just going to inculcate among the students, but in the process of, organizing, conducting many programs, the teacher is also going to learn many skills, and his personality or her personality is also going to mold to the better shape over a period of time. And through that shaping of better personality, better skills, So he will be, or she will be recognized in the, institution and even in the community. Then the opportunities, the responsibilities are going to, new responsibilities are, given to the NSS program officers. But what I suggest, what I feel, most of the times teachers think giving the new responsibility is burden on them. It will make greater pressure on them. So something like that. But in reality, it is you have to think in a different way or in a positive way. It is some sort of a good way of looking towards you, and it is a sort of recognition of your abilities. So because of recognition of your abilities and skills, the responsibilities are going to be offered to you, and that you have to take it as a positive sense, and you have to accept the challenges and responsibilities. So whoever is going to accept the responsibilities and challenges, and they only will have the scope to grow as an individual, as a person, and through that accepting challenges. So knowingly or unknowingly, your personality, your skills, your organization skills, and your overall personality is going to grow up, and that is what it leads for the holistic development of even the teacher. And you will be noticed after some time, you will be respected everywhere. Even the students are going to be respected. It is not just respected, it is loved by every student. And even your friends and your colleagues and your organization or your institutions, all the members, so everyone is going to recognize by giving special way of respect to you. It is all because of your professional development through this all skill development. And this is, teachers are through this NSS and extension activities. So they are connected with the extension activities to the community, and they help connected to the community and understand the needs and challenges faced by the local people. So when you are connected with the local people and community, and they try to engage in solving the local problems and helping to the community, so you have special place in the hearts of the community and the hearts of the common man. So that is the greatest strength of these extension activities. So if you are involved in NSS camping activity, or there is a scheme called adoption of villages scheme is there in NSS. So if you adopt some slum, or if you adopt some backward village or some problematic village, so when you involve with your student for a 3 years or 2 years or 4 years or something like that, then your bond with the community, your bond with the common man is going to be enhanced. And so through that, your understanding of the community is going to enhance, and your relationship, community, social relations of relation is going to also enhance, and students practically understand the societal problems, and this kind of interaction will make connected with the society for both the teacher as well as the students. So this way we can create the greater bondage between the students community, then education institutions, teacher with the common man. Then the teacher can also develop personally, that is personal fulfillment. So it provides teachers with a sense of personal satisfaction and fulfillment. At the end, some sort of satisfaction, because today, teachers are, paid very well. It is not as that of 25 years back. So the teachers are very well paid. So UGC salary. So almost, everyone is earning more than a lakh. And if they become associate, they can, reach 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs once if they become professors. So we are getting very good salary, but it's, we have the responsibility. So after getting this much of, benefit and respect, so all this, in some way we have to give it back to the society. And this NSS, and through these extension activities, with the help of our students, we can, in a great way contribute and even return back to the society through these activities, that is through these extension activities. So overall, this extension is a vital component of holistic development for both students as well as teacher. Then it helps in fostering well-rounded individuals who are not only academically proficient, but also socially responsible and engaged citizens. So at the end, it will create responsible citizens, responsible students, responsible teachers, and we will have some sort of commitment towards society. We are not just teachers. We are not just confined to 4 walls of the classroom. So we are going to engage with the community. We are going to get connected with the people, and we are going to become more responsible socially, and we will become engaged citizens. Excuse me. And this is, the benefits of extension activities through different ways. That is through professional development, then community connections, the personal fulfillment, enhanced teaching, all this. Then coming to the NSS in particular. So what so far in the earlier slides, what I have explained is related to the role of NSS as a platform of extension in education system. So the benefits of extension activity using the NSS as a platform, and how it is going to make its impact on the holistic development of the student as well as the teacher. So now we need to understand the NSS. So if you take up the NSS, the responsibility in your institution. So you need to have a little background of this NSS. So as you know, this scheme was launched in around 40 universities initially as a pilot project in 1969, September 24th. That is the centenary of our national father, Rashtrapita Gandhiji. So to mark his centenary birthday, this program was launched on that day. So if we look back, the background of this implementing this scheme. So this scheme was introduced, though it was introduced in 1969, September 24th. Prior to that, almost it took 2 decades to implement the plan of involving students community and teaching community to the community programs, community engagement, or to community development programs in the form of extension activities, that is connecting campus with the community. But this idea was initiated very long back, that is during 40s. So before the independence, during British time itself, it was initially started. But at the 1960s, it has been implemented. But at that time, why this NSS was implementing, or the idea of connecting campus with the community was made. The backdrop was, at that time, the situation of India was, it was facing the problem of the poverty, then unemployment, and neglect of youth community, and a lot of inequality, then illiteracy, then political unrest, then natural calamities, then the spirit of region and regionalism, then the nation and nationalism, then many social evils. So this was the situation during 1940s. That is before our independence. That was the condition of India. So at that time, so many people were thinking, so how the youth should be made engaged in community activities, how educational institutions or the campuses should be involved in community development projects in order to face all these challenges as mentioned earlier, that is poverty, unemployment, that is youth engagement, inequality, illiteracy. So there are many there were many challenges. So so engaging youth or the educated youths for in order to solve all these problems, so they find the means to engage these youths in community development. So they have planned, or they have recommended, or they started thinking the different ways and means to involve the youth community of the nation to involve in nation building or in community development in order to overcome all these problems. So the plan was like this. So some group of people or the youths were they were officially enrolled in education institutions, and they were studying, and that portion is very small. And at the same time, a huge portion or a large portion of youths were out of these education institutions. They were living in the rural areas, and they were in a community, but they were not involved in, or they were not connected with this campuses or the education institutions. So the administrators or the planners or the political thinkers, they they started thinking to involve all this youth community in the nation building or this community development. So they began to think to involve all these youths. So from the perspective of involving the youths who are engaged in education institutions or involved or enrolled in education institutions, they think to provide different platforms. So one such platform is National Service Scheme, and another platform is National Cadet Corps. So the purpose is different, but the goal is to involve youths in nation building. The means are different. And similarly, the plan was to involve the non-educational institutional youths in the form of NYKs. Today we call it as NYKs, Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangatana. So they are the youths who are out of education institutions. Either they have completed their education and who are living in rural areas or in other areas, either rural or urban, anywhere. But they are outside the educational institutions. They are no way connected with educational institutions. So for them, this NYKs, and for those who are enrolled in education institution, either universities, colleges, or in professional institutions are +2. So where the platform is this NSS or Red Cross or many other platforms are there, where this NSS is one very important. This NSS is one of the schemes in the educational programs which develops the person. That is, personal development, personality development. But the goal is to make social service or community service as extension activity. So it is connecting educational campuses and community. It is able to know the problem of the society and react on them. So through this NSS, so they are able to understand the societal problems, and for that they are able to react and respond in a better way than the others. And it will make them to prepare these men and women of highly responsible and useful adults. So through their education, so they are knowledgeable and they are skillful, and through this knowledge and skill, so they can make use and they can make them very responsible or highly responsible, and they can make them as useful adults for this society. So, and the development and progress of every person in the society is important. So by developing himself, he becomes independent. So it is a social responsibility to create healthy surrounding and congenial atmosphere for a person's development. And these are all, the background and the purpose of to start or to begin NSS scheme in the country. So if you look into the historical background of NSS, it will go back to, as I said, since the entry of Mahatma Gandhi to the freedom movement and his politics in 1919, he inspired the new wave of back to the village movement, and through his Seva Gram project, he has inspired the youths in translating the idea of rural development through this project called Seva Gram in 1990. The objective of this Seva Gram project is to involve the students in rural development, thinking that the students should not to treat their period of study as one of the opportunities for indulgence in intellectual luxury, but for preparing themselves for final dedication to nation building. That was the purpose of this Seva Gram, and that spirit has made responsible for the beginning of this national service scheme among philosophers, planners, education planners in the later part of this. Then NSS, for the beginning of this NSS, the works of the spirit of Tagore has also inspired in a greater way. The efforts in rural development were initiated by the legendary educationist Rabindranath through this Sriniketan approach of rural development, where through the social relations with friends and teachers are everlasting and are very powerful in forming the personalities. So these relations shape the human behavior. A person's psychological and mental health forms through this social exposure and through the experience. So this has made responsible, that is the core values for NSS, for the beginning of NSS, or taking initiation for the beginning of NSS is through the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi and this Rabindranath Tagore has made responsible. The spirit, the projects like Seva Gram projects and Sriniketan approach has made responsible, and this call for back to villages and the Tagore's efforts of early rural development initiatives in West Bengal. So all this has made responsible for the initiation of this involving students in campus and community engagement programs in the form of NSS. So when Dr. Radhakrishnan became the UGC chairman, so he recommended for the introduction of national service. So for the first time, he has made recommendation for the introduction of national service scheme in the academic institutions on a voluntary basis with a view to developing healthy contacts between students and teachers on the one hand and establishing a constructive linkage between the campus and the community on the other hand. So the great idea of engaging or connecting the students and teachers on the one hand and connecting both teachers and students with the community as a linkage in connecting the community and campus. So this idea has initiated by Dr. Radhakrishnan when he was the UGC chairman, and this idea was again considered by this CABE, that is Central Advisory Board of Education, in 1950 at its meeting held in January 1950. Then this board has recommended that students should devote some time to manual work on voluntary basis, and that the teachers should also associate with them in such work. So this way, in a smaller way, it has recommended, this CABE has recommended to involve students as well as teachers to devote some time in manual work. So this is what it has started that way, to spare some time in the form of manual work on voluntary basis, both students as well as teachers. So in that direction, we can find the quite progress in that direction in the draft first year 5-year plan, which is adopted by the Government of India in 1952. The need for social and labor service for students for 1 year was further stressed in that plan. Then consequent upon this, labor and social service camps, campus work projects, village apprenticeship schemes, etc. were put into operation by various educational institutions. So all these were recommendations made during this first 5-year plans. Then after independence in 1958, when Nehru was the Prime Minister, he has wrote a letter to the chief ministers, and he has mooted the idea of having social service as a prerequisite for graduation. So he further directed the Ministry of Education to formulate a suitable scheme for introduction of national service into the academic institutions. And based on his letter and his interest shown through his letter to all the chief ministers, in 1959, a draft outline of the scheme was placed before the Education Ministers' Conference. The conference was unanimous about the urgent need for trying out a workable scheme for national service, which would arouse interest in social and economic reconstruction of the country. It was viewed that if the objectives of the scheme were to be realized, it was essential to integrate social service with the educational processes as early as possible. The conference suggested the appointment of a committee to work out the details of the proposed pilot project in 1959. Then based on the committee, the recommendations, the National Service Committee was appointed under the chairmanship of Dr. C.D. Deshmukh on August 28, 1959, to make concrete suggestions. The committee recommended that national service for a period of 9 months to a year may be made compulsory for all students completing high school education and intending to enroll themselves to a college or a university. The scheme was include some military training, social service, manual labor, and general education. The recommendations could not be accepted because of its financial implications and difficulties in implementation. Later in 1960, at the instance of the Government of India, Professor K.G. Saidin studied national service by students implemented in several countries of the world and submitted his report under the title National Service for the Youth to the government with a number of recommendations, and recommended that social service camps should be open to students as well as non-students within the prescribed age group for better interrelationship. Then another committee has been appointed to look into this matter, the Kothari Commission, which was formulated in 1964 and formulated to develop a roadmap of the progress of the nation with the help of educational system in which the students would be involved. Kothari Commission report pointed out that the destiny of India is being shaped in her classroom. Education is the only source for positive change. It means that the college life student can develop his moral values through NSS. This was taken up into account by the state education ministers during their conference in 1967 April and recommended that the university stage, students could be permitted to join the National Cadet Corps, which was already in existence on a voluntary basis, and an alternative to this could be offered to them in the form of new program called National Service Scheme, NSS. Promising sportsmen, however, should be exempted from both and allowed to join another scheme called National Sports Organization, NSO, in view of the need to give priority to the development of sports and athletics. Then based on this recommendation, the Vice Chancellor's Conference was held in 1969, and we welcomed this recommendation and suggested that a special committee of special committee of vice chancellors could be set up to examine this question in detail. In the statement of national policy on education of the Government of India, it was laid down the work experience and national service should be an integral part of education. And in May 1969, a conference of the students' representative was held, and the Ministry of Education and University Grant Commission unanimously declared that national service could be a powerful instrument for national integration. It could be used to introduce urban students to rural life, and projects of permanent value could also be undertaken as a symbol of the contribution of the students' community to the progress and upliftment of the nation. So the Planning Commission sanctioned an outlay of rupees 5 crore for National Service Scheme during the 4th 5-year plan. It was stipulated that NSS program should be stated as a pilot project in select institutions and universities. On September 24th, in 1969, the Education Minister, Dr. V.K.R.V. Rao, launched this NSS program in 37 universities covering all the states. It was appropriate that the program was started during the Gandhi centenary year, and these are all some of the present statement. It has started with the enrollment of 40,000 students in 1969 initially in 37 universities. It has increased to 11 lakh during 95-96, and presently almost it is 39.87 lakhs students are currently enrolled in National Service Scheme. NSS does a concrete attempt in making campus relevant to the needs of the community. And these are all the philosophy of NSS, that is, increasing or inculcating the spirit of democracy, socialism, secularism, national integration, self-reliance, humanitarianism, and the aims of NSS are to develop the personality of the students and provide students an opportunity to serve society, inculcate the spirit of social responsibility, the spirit of democracy, then channelize students' energy to constructive activities. Then the specific objectives are community service activities, the environment protection programs, rural development programs, disaster relief rehabilitation programs, then health awareness programs, which are very important for social issues. And for teachers, as I said, it is helpful for the holistic growth, the personality, professional growth, personal growth, all this, and it is also helpful for the holistic development. So at the end, we can find the some of the quotes, how the extension activities or the social activities are very important. We can observe the Swami Vivekananda's quote: "The best way to find yourself, to lose yourself in the service of others." Excuse me. This emphasizes that selfless service leads to self-discovery and fulfillment. And there is another statement: they allow live who live for others. This highlights the importance of living a life dedicated to the well-being of others. With these words, I will conclude my